The Alliance was established to advocate, to foster also bilateral relations.
Thank you for all your service, and we know the important committees that you sit on, where it really has a gigantic impact on every American.
You may or may not realize, right before Christmas, I was in Israel, looking at how they handle national security from the standpoint of their airport security, cyber security. Went and visited their fence, well, their walls and parliamentarians. If you had moved your family to the Middle East, where would you move them? Doesn't that tell you something?
Right.
Yes.
And you take a look at the Syrians in the Golan Heights. You think they're kind of happy there in the Golan Heights being governed by Israeli law, or you think they'd rather be in Aleppo? So, a partner for peace. All of America's actions should be designed to strengthen Israel, strengthen our relationship.
Very dedicated and loyal to our cause. That's
great.
Very nice to see you again.
Well, that's I was talking about a veteran's office. Very privileged.
We have been here more than once, and you've been a great friend. And I think we appreciate it, and we want you to know that we remember.
Good.
Yes, thank you a lot. You were here for the Iron Dome and different things. This is a very difficult time.
It is. And
But a true friend, a true friend.
Prime Minister will be here soon.
Where it just seems that we're spending between voluntary and involuntary commitments of $8 billion, 20-something% of the entire budget is going towards something that's not serving the function that
An
initially was.
alternative, proactive type of response. If you really are concerned about this, because this really puts Israel in jeopardy in terms of the World Court, in terms of future Security Council resolutions, in general, and it's being used as propaganda already by the PA.
Governor Haley would never have cast that vote. And so now we got to go forward here, and I support the resolution, certainly that would withhold the funding from the UN until this is at my last visit in August. And I brought my son along. My wife went with me the trip before, but I brought my son, and she said it's most important we get the next generation to understand what's going on, and he is solidly pro-Israeli effects when you turn the control back over. And when the Israelis leave, we saw what happens there with Hamas. And so why isn't that a clear enough case study that would convince everybody around the consequences of when you lose the presence of the
Holocaust, the Wiesenthal Center put out a memo that the settlements are not the issue, it's the hatred of the Arabs for the Jews that's the real issue.
Yeah.
They teach it in the schools, at the school book.
Yeah.
If you find a Jew behind a tree, kill him. In third grade, they teach them songs like this, they name squares after martyrs.
Yeah.
With that culture, there's no need to really make peace with it.
Bulletin board. They have the pictures of the suicide bombers on there, glorifying the heroes.
Arabs and Jews working together, getting the same salaries. The food in the cafeteria was kosher and halal to make sure that during the month of Ramadan, we were there, it was a Ramadan month, so they were saying that the staff of the Muslim workers weren't eating during the day, but they made sure they gave them their late night breakfast meal as part of their job. And they were working together side by side. The two main managers of the plant, one's an Arab, one's a Jew, working together and having this product. And then you have the BDS movement coming in and saying, oh no, you can't do that.
The Arabs lost their jobs, right?
All the Arabs lost their jobs. And these people, sometimes one person was earning all the money for a family of 10, 15 people.
Yeah.
And we were decently trying to work together. And they said, no.
Look back and see a peace that worked for the region. Look at Sadat. How did Anwar Sadat make peace with Israel? He made a declaration, a bold and courageous declaration to his own people in his own capital, and he says, I want peace with Israel, and I'm willing to go to Jerusalem, which he did, and went to Jerusalem.
Your service and all the committees that you serve on that are so crucial to our country, and we agree with your 2 points. As a small token of our appreciation, this is a Jewish
Minnesota, this shot is
I actually was in agreement.
Thank you so much.
And even Friedman said we don't need to build new
This is Saul Goldner. Oh, wonderful. Hello, Joe.
sorry. I'm sorry.
I was there last summer, right after a rocket landed. Yes. And we went to the home where it landed. Really scary. Really scary what to deal with. What did that?
That's right, yeah.
Right. And then there's a power plant near there, and there's a desalination.
Thank you so much.
There's nobody stronger than I am. Nobody. I'm just saying it's a fact, and everybody who knows me very well knows that. I've been a friend of every prime minister of Israel, from Menachem Begin, and I haven't gotten over it yet. I just thought there's no excuse for it. It put Israel in a bind, and it put our country in a bind.
For lunch, Ambassador Adar John of Senegal to the United States. This is the first time that the U.S.-Israel Security Alliance is meeting with an ambassador, an open discussion about Senegal, its relationship and friendship with Israel
and Senegal, and broader between Senegal, Israel, and West Africa. We were looking ways of furthermance, and I think that the way of peace is the two-state solution. And they think that settlement doesn't help if you want peace between in the area when you have a two-state solution. It may be true, it may be wrong. I'm not a diplomat, several journalists. But what I'm sure is we need that cooperation with Israel very much, because before 1973, where the relations was cut between Africa and there was many African countries and Israel due to political reasons. We had very wonderful cooperation in the past. The one-state solution is the door to a civil war for
It is narrow, and so therefore, and Israel has already withdrawn. It has withdrawn from Gaza. And what did we get in return? The Katyushas. We think that there'll be peace if Israel withdraws, and yet we found out what happened. If a state or a country would say, okay, no blacks are allowed in your country to live, okay? Why is it that in the heartland, the cradle of Jewish civilization, they can make the racist statement that no Jews are allowed?
And in my mind, it is well for that. We are a living example of a country who made it despite the past, despite all your suffering. It's an example for that. That is why I'm a friend of you.
This is a charity box. We say,
God bless you.
Good to see you.
For everything you do for the U.S., for Israel, and for all of us.
You are the half of the U.S.-Israel Security Alliance. On Capitol Hill and the Senate, running back and forth all day today. And we always say we save the best for last. And we have. And there's an opportunity for us to thank you for your introducing the bill to safeguard Israel. That's one was heaven.
When it comes to Israel, I'm encouraged by what I see. I'm encouraged by what appears to be a very positive meeting with the Prime Minister and President Trump today. And I am hopeful that the campaign promise to move the embassy to Jerusalem will be followed through upon. It is certainly, you may rest assured that I am energetically urging that. I think the UN resolution is really dangerous. I think it is designed to do permanent damage to Israel, to serve as the predicate for litigation, for lawfare, for actions of the International Criminal Court. Lindsey Graham and I joined together to introduce the legislation we have that cuts off funding to the UN unless and until they reverse this resolution.
Senator, it's a very special honor for me in concluding this mission that we have spent all day here to thank you for everything that you have done on behalf of Israel, on behalf of the United States. You have been a true friend, and we honor and respect you for everything that you have done, particularly the Safeguard Israel Act.